You might recall that a few months ago I published a video about flying aboard the CRJ200, which got a lot more attention than I thought it would. Today I'm once again hopping on board everyone's favorite plane for a quick flight between Bloomington and Chicago, Illinois. It's my first time in over 5 years flying from Bloomington, and as an added bonus, we're flying on board a special livery. I'm excited to have you joining me today, so let's get this trip started. It's around 4:30 in the morning, and after a quick 40-minute drive, we're here at the Central Illinois Regional Airport at Bloomington-Normal. Right off the bat, the passenger experience at this airport is fantastic. Why? Well, parking, even long-term parking, is completely free of charge, which is amazing considering I'd be gone for a week. Not only that, but there's even a complimentary shuttle service that runs frequently from the parking lot to the terminal. That's something you really don't see every day at small regional airports like this. I haven't flown from Bloomington in over 5 years, but believe it or not, I'm always excited whenever I get to fly from these small airports, not only because of the convenience, but also because I get to relive childhood memories. I've primarily flown Delta out of Bloomington, but I've also had trips on Frontier and even AirTran back in 2008, an airline and a service that I sorely miss. I didn't even realize at the time, but this will actually be my first time flying American out of Bloomington. The airport has changed a bit since my last visit here in 2018, adding a lounge area by the check-in hall complete with seating and this beautifully branded fountain. This morning, we're on flight 6154 to Chicago, one of 3 flights scheduled to depart within the next hour. The standard security lines were understandably long, but thankfully there was a dedicated pre-check lane with no one in it, and I was through within just 3 minutes. As soon as you leave TSA, you enter the waiting hall for gates 1 through 4, the majority of which aren't used anymore since the airport's just not as busy as it once was. Gate 3 is the only one in this area still used, and that's where our flight departs from today. Upstairs is where you'll find a cafe, convenience store, and gates 5 through 9 that service all Delta, Allegiant, and Frontier flights in addition to the American flight to Dallas. It's also worth noting that there is free Wi-Fi available and an abundance of power outlets for anyone wanting to get work done. What's also really nice about Bloomington is that because it's a small airport, the airlines usually stick to specific gates, so it's always easy to predict where your flight departs from. As of now, gates 3 and 5 are used by American, 3 for Chicago and 5 for Dallas, 6 by Frontier who operate seasonal service, 8 by Delta, and 9 by Allegiant. What happened to gate 7, you may ask? I don't know. Our American Eagle flight today is operated by regional subsidiary Air Wisconsin, and our aircraft today is one of a handful of CRJ200s painted in the special retro house livery. This livery replicates the original Air Wisconsin scheme seen on its aircraft throughout the 80s and 90s. Now, surprisingly, despite our aircraft having been parked at Gate 3 overnight after arriving from Chicago, our flight was still listed to depart from Gate 5, which was a clear mistake. Only 20 minutes before boarding was it confirmed that our gate was indeed Gate 3, but again, if you remember the gate assignments that I discussed earlier, this should not come as much of a surprise. Boarding started on time, and thanks to my One World Ruby status, I boarded in Group 4 and was the second person on the plane, following the lady in front who boarded in Group 1. Like most CRJ200s, the ones operated by Air Wisconsin seat 50 passengers in a 2-2 all-economy layout. Because I had a short connection in Chicago, I opted for seat 6A towards the front. Comfort-wise, the seats are nothing special, but perfect for this short hop. The seat back features a tray table and seat pocket with the safety card and air sickness bag. Leg space is totally fine, and it's nice that there's no metal bar in between seats that could restrict your under-seat storage space. Above the seat are your reading lights, air vents, and a call button. A common complaint about the CRJ200 is that the windows are misaligned and very low. While yes, they are placed quite low, the alignment in row 6 wasn't that bad. Not nearly as bad as row 12 that I flew in a few months back. Despite this being a super short flight, our amazing flight attendant, Mr. Donald, made sure that there was a refreshment service. He came through the cabin passing out both pretzels and cookies to all passengers. Even as the Chicago suburbs came into view below us and as we began descent, Donald still came through the cabin offering coffee, water, and orange juice to everyone. It was clear that everyone on this flight had a deep appreciation for his incredible service. As always with these intra-Illinois flights, the descent into Chicago ends up taking longer than the actual cruise period. Approaching from the southwest, we would fly past O'Hare on downwind and then over downtown. We would make a 180 over Lake Michigan before coming into land on runway 27 center.
Washington International Airport in Maryland, departing at 8:21 a.m. Your flight will be departing out of gate L as in Lima 23, that's L23, for Denver, Colorado. departing at 8:30 a.m. Near Gate 1, Washington, departing at 10:05 a.m. out of Gate 8. For Tampa, Florida, departing at 8:38, Westchester County, New York, at 8:19 a.m. out of L22. Again, our arrival gate will be G18, Terminal 3.
To be honest, I don't know why people complain about the CRJ200, especially on short flights like this, which is what the aircraft is meant for. I had a pleasant experience on American Eagle/Air Wisconsin today, made even better by Donald, our flight attendant. I've taken many flights in my life, but Donald was probably the best crew member I've ever had. So I really hope he continues getting the recognition he deserves for his outstanding commitment to serving his passengers. I had a short connection in Chicago, so I had to quickly get to the other end of Terminal 3 to catch my onward flight. We'll pick up from here in the next video, so thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed this quick video. If you're interested in supporting the channel, consider checking out my Patreon linked in the description for some pretty cool perks. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're new around here, but that's it for now, so take care, and I will see you in the next one.